Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus Booster Pack. We're going for 10 wins in a row. It doesn't really feel like... I don't want to act like it's not a big deal. VXGH8N 8 nah! It's a sequel to 8 Mile where Eminem's like, I'm not sure if this rapping thing is really all it's cracked up to be honest with you. 8 nah. I'm okay with doing that. I think that was the right way to handle this. I'm trying to remember how much HP we have. But yeah, honestly, like, a streak with the Forgotten, I think you gotta get into, like, quintuple digits. You gotta get 5 figures in order for it to be valuable. Yes, I'm not being facetious. I think you would need to win, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of 11 to 12,000 runs in a row before I'd start to be impressed. You hit me with that 9,000 streak, I'll be like, yeah, you're probably, like, decent. Wow, I took that as completely the wrong character, probably, now that I think about it, but oh well. The fact that we've had garbage, played like garbage, and have still come away with wins that, you know, I wouldn't be the first person to describe them as easy, but they haven't, well, I mean, they have been a little tight on occasion, but, you know, who among us hasn't? I don't know if I meant what I said there. Either way, still a fun character to play as. I'm just hoping that we get, not something more difficult. I really just hope we get something more interesting on this run, because the last couple of runs have been, you know, they've had their positives and negatives, but certainly I've been feeling a little bit under the gun. And you don't want to be under the gun, you know, you gotta remember what Kendrick Lamar said. The one in front of the gun lives forever. That's right. I finally gone and listened to another Kendrick Lamar album. All it took was Childish Gambino releasing This Is America, and I was like, you know what, it's time for me to go see what's going on in this hip-hop era of 2012, so I can eventually get to 2018 later. We lost a Boneheart, by the way, and I think that is actually potentially the most dangerous thing that's happened to us early on a Forgotten run in a long time, because it means that we are on 1 Boneheart right now. 2 of diamonds? Oh, that's nasty. Because I want that champion belt, dude. And I don't like the way... I mean, I can't believe we didn't get any pennies there, or at least many pennies. I don't like the way the secret room layout looks here. Like, it's just a little too... a little too many, like, L-shaped rooms around it, which just... it's not like it mathematically makes it any more complicated, but for whatever reason, like, in my head, I'm like, that makes it more complicated. I was wrong, by the way. When we picked up stem cells, I thought it would give us a spirit heart, because we picked it up as the soul, didn't we? But instead, it gave us a red heart, which, I mean, obviously is exactly what we wanted, so... I think we're pretty blessed there. So we lost 1 of our bone hearts, but we still have 2 full ones to go. So this first deal with the devil, I don't want to, again, act like it's horrible or, you know, life's been extremely tough on these Forgotten runs. You're not supposed to walk in with this guy, you fool. Just drop something bad and let me use Ace of Hearts to get out of it. But I kind of want that, sure, okay. But where our runs have kind of gone off the rails early has been this deal with the devil, you know? The first deal with the devil, it's supposed to be like... supposed to be a coronation of sorts, you know? You're supposed to walk in there and you're like, okay, what am I gonna use in order to make my run better? Am I gonna get an easy win with a brimstone or a mom's knife or something like that? Maybe yes, maybe no. Am I gonna start working on a guppy transformation? Am I gonna get, you know, empty vessel and have a little bit more of a utilitarian, defensive run for a little bit? Am I gonna get Dark Bomb and Gimpy and, you know, try to stack up some Spirit Hearts? But lately, we've been getting, you know, a free Guppy item or nothing out of 3 red chests, and then you don't get a deal with the Devil Precedent, you end up fighting the Angels. I can't help myself when it comes to the Angels. You get the, you know, you gotta fight the Angel statues. Sometimes you take a lot of damage there. You get the little Brimstone lasers that do nothing as Melee Lord, and... Anyway, I'm not complaining, I'm just hoping. Anything. Just something to chart our direction, you know? There we go. We just want a direction. It's like leaving college or something like that. Sure, Alexis Bledel can get away with a little post-grad movie not knowing what's going on, but, you know, for the rest of us, it helps to have some sort of direction, you know? Ooh. So Mom's Knife is a extremely takeable synergy. And I always am going to take a look for the Guppy chance as well at this point in my life. If there's nothing else good about this character, I said if. If there's nothing else good about this character, which is obviously false, there's a lot of great stuff about this character. But even if there were nothing else, the fact that Mom's Knife is now like a takeable item that nobody is going to be upset about you seeing, it's a chef's kiss. It's different than a romantic kiss. Because you do a chef's kiss when you love yourself. I love it. Stay away from me. I will smack you with my makeshift Ninja Gaiden nunchakus. Now, we have a tinted rock. We could buy a bomb and get that tinted rock. It's a little tempting, because keep in mind, you know, we may want to be the soul at points on this run. If our HP gets too low as the Forgotten, we might want to be the soul, because the soul has Mom's Knife. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like our default run. I'm going to be substantially scarier. Come on, stretch, dude. Than I normally would be, and I'm going to go in there right away, as we've already done. So already this run has redeemed itself. I don't know if you can do mathematics in this way. You'll have to forgive me. You know, the last time I did any sort of real mathematics was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. In college, I had to take calculus. I mean, I was a good math. You're going to disbelieve me. I wasn't a good math student in high school. I was a great math student. And in college, kind of the same thing. But once I got to the point where they were, hey, okay, that was quick thinking. Once we got to the point where they were like, yeah, there's only, like, real math left. Like, there's only math that, like, people who want to be, like, mathematicians or physicists can take. I'm like, you know what? That's where I draw the line. Let me take history of popular music from 1951 to 2000 instead, and, you know, we'll tackle the rest of it when we come to it. If I ever need to know, you know, how to use partial derivatives in some kind of real-world application, I'll come back. I'll pay the $500 and I'll take the course. But, what I was gonna say, before I got off on this math tangent, I think this run is better than both of our previous runs combined. And that's where I think it kind of falls apart. Because I don't think you can add runs in that way. I don't know. We need, like, Isaac Archimedes to tell us how you add two Isaac runs together. Just put your lips together and blow. Let this be, like, a positive thing for you, by the way. If you struggle with mathematics, math is very much overrepresented in schools. And it's important, by the way. I love math. Even though I love math in the same way people on Facebook will, like, click the like button on the page that says I love science. You know, it's not like oh, you love math so much? What's Fibonacci computed to the, you know, 35th instance or something like that, you know? It's not like that. It's more like I respect math, and math is just like codified logic, you know? It's just a series of rules for, you know, representing operations in the world around us. And in that, I respect it, but I don't know anything more about it. But it's highly overrepresented in scholastic environments versus how often you use it in real life. Now, that being said, I do think it's important. I think having strong mathematical reasoning can help you out. But if you're there in calculus class and you're like, I don't really get it, we haven't been to our item room yet, right? Where did we get Sack of Sacks? Was it just from a chest? It might have just been from a chest. If you're like, I don't really get this calculus stuff, when am I going to use this in real life? I'm here to tell you, you don't have to use it in real life. You really won't. Your teacher's going to, if they're being honest, they'll tell you the same thing. Now, by learning calculus, you know, you could enable a bunch of stuff in your real life, like, for example, the ability to do well enough in college, qualify for maybe a master's program in some kind of science, PhD program in some kind of science. Before you know it, you're brought on for, like, you know, some kind of aeronautical engineering startup or something like that. And who knows, Miss Anthony back at ZSS is like, you owe her. She got you into calculus, and all of a sudden now you're dining with Elon. But apart from that, I don't think it's super relevant. Oh, this is easy. On a person-to-person basis. Now, if you're going to say, well, I use calculus every day, I got to ask you what your job is. Are you a calculus professor? Anyway. Also, I'll admit, math is important in a computer science background as well. But I don't know, kind of like probability, yes. Linear algebra, absolutely. And then when it comes to the other stuff, I'm like, I'll have to take your word for it. I haven't gotten it. People are like, well, if you're going to make OpenGL drivers, you really got to understand how to add and multiply 3D vectors. And I'm like, wow. They ain't doing that on Free Code Camp. But more power to you. You know what math is like actually important for the everyday life? You're gonna think I'm gonna say something ridiculous like arithmetic. Obviously, that's kind of like the baseline, like bare minimum. Like if you can't add two numbers together or multiply two small numbers together in your head, I'd get on that one pretty quick, to be honest. But I'm not a huge fan of Trinket Smelter, to be honest with you. Give me a little battery, baby, and let's preserve our bone heart as well. It's probability, dude. People have a very, like, probability and statistics. People have a very base knowledge, just enough to get themselves in trouble a lot of the time. Like, I think in order to, there's like 4 questions, and I'm gonna have to make up a bunch of them, because in my head I was like, I can only think of 2. There's a few questions you should have to answer in order to, like, get your probability certificate as an adult. And they're not hard questions. The first one would be like, you know, if you have a 2-sided coin, what are the odds of flipping that coin heads twice in a row? If you say 50%, you gotta take a class. I'm sorry, it's 25%. And I know many of you are like, duh. And a smaller, but still frighteningly large percentage of people are probably like, but it's 50%. It's either heads or tails. See, that's why you need the class. In order to predict a specific outcome of a 1 or 2 probability thing twice in a row, it's 50%. It's 1 over the number of possibilities times the number of rolls, essentially. And then the other one would be, if you buy more tickets to the lottery, do you have a better chance to win? By the way I phrased the question, many people are probably gonna say no because they think that it would be stupid to assume the answer is yes. But the answer is yes. That's a question to see if you're awake. Of course, if you buy more tickets to the lottery, you got a better chance to win. Each lottery ticket has roughly the same percentage chance to win. But you, as a player, have doubled your chances, essentially. Slightly different because, you know, the number of tickets has gone up, I guess. I don't know specifically how, like, most lotteries are run with respect to that, but if you can answer those 2 questions, you're good. Again, they don't need to be like, well, if I have a 20-sided dice, what are the odds that the sum of my first 4 rolls will be more than 40? You know, like, that's something you could do. But, you know, you gotta cut people some slack, you know? Being an adult, and I think this is where, you know, I was wrong for sure when I was a kid. Dude, it's so cool, this sprinkler shoots knives when we're Knife Lord, and bones when we're Bone Lord. Please stop hitting me. You know, I thought really being an adult meant that because you'd gone through at least elementary school, middle school, high school, possibly university, college, and even a little bit beyond that, plus you got real life experience, I assumed that adults were like masters of everything. Like, you'd be like, Dad, how do you not know how to do a derivative? You won the math award in 11th grade. You're like, yeah, well, haven't done a derivative since 11th grade because I've been too busy putting food on the table, so fair enough. Being an adult is really just having, like, quite literally a base level competency. I think in terms of book smarts, and this is not meant to be insulting, in terms of book smarts, the average adult is roughly about as intelligent as, like, an 8th grader. And depending on the industry that you work in, that could be different, I'll admit. If you work at a biomedical laboratory or, you know, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at Caltech or something like that, it's a little different, but try to keep that in mind. Apparently, if you pick up and put down butterbean enough, it could become wait what over and over. Or if you just do it enough times. I still maintain that, like, for the average person, the peak of their book smart intelligence is probably going to be like 11th or 12th grade. Or first year, well, maybe not first year of college. Depends on the program, I guess. But anyway, I digress. I think that's all the math you need to know. Like, probability and an understanding that, yes, correlation doesn't equal causation, but sometimes it does. Like, I swear there's an element of pseudo-intellectualism online where you know just enough information to get yourself in trouble. Like, I could stub my toe and my toe starts to bleed, and then I go, oh, I stubbed my toe and it started to bleed, and like 5% of people would come out the woodwork and be like, well, you know, correlation doesn't equal causation. I don't know, what's the p-value on my toe bleeding after I stubbed it? Thinking that's probably somewhere in the vicinity of like 0.000001. Now, see, I'm being pseudo-intellectual myself because I can't remember if for you to have a statistical degree of confidence you want p to be over 0.05 or under 0.05. Again, I've been too busy putting food on the table. And that goes for me as well, by the way. You know, my book smart intelligence definitely peaked in probably like first year of college is my guess. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken it as you, but it did heal me at least. Okay, so we gotta think intelligently here. Well, no, we don't. We just take the mark. Ooh, almost got tagged. Alright, we went to our item room, we went to our shop, we're good to go. Everything's looking fine. The run's good. That was Caves 2, right? That was Caves 2. You know who really needs, like, probability knowledge? Is, and this is, like, the opposite of that, me shaming people for saying correlation doesn't equal causation. Sportscasters and statisticians in sports need a little bit of knowledge. And sports viewers, dude, need a little bit of a lesson in correlation not equaling causation. So I've been watching the NHL playoffs when I get a chance. You know, this episode's going to come out, like, probably a week after Game 7 between the Winnipeg Jets and the Nashville Predators. I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, but I like rooting for the Winnipeg Jets because they're good. They have a preternatural young talent in Finnish superstar Patrick Laine, and unlike every other franchise in Canada, they haven't been around that long, so there hasn't been enough time for the Canucks fan base to build up a specific animosity to them. Like, Canucks fans hate Calgary. You know, we played each other in playoffs about 100,000 times, and we have a rivalry with Alberta. Oh, dude, we finally got Ludo. What is happening? We smack it? We smack it. That's interesting. We have a rivalry with Alberta and British Columbia to begin with. Edmonton, kind of in the same boat, been in the league forever. Hey, congratulations on signing Wayne Gretzky to a lifetime contract for 6 ketchup packets and a Tim Hortons eclair back in 1971. This is a great legacy for the franchise. I can't help it. I'm sorry, okay? Stop taking damage. What is this? Oh, it's just the knife, and then sprinkler exists as well, yeah. I'm so confused right now. Face me? Face me. Stars. No! I don't want to go. I'm just getting confused about where we're at here. Anyway. They'll always do things like, well, the Winnipeg Jets haven't lost a home game where the temperature's been below 14 degrees Celsius since 2017. And you're like, wow, they must be guaranteed to win this run then. And I just called it a run because this is how I live my life. And then they lose, and you're like, how could they have lost? That's unprecedented. Well, yes and no, I guess. What's the classic stat in, like, Statistics 101 they always use? Is, like, as ice cream sales go up, so do shark attacks. And you're like, well, I guess ice cream causes shark attacks. And obviously the real correlation is that the weather's hot, so people are actually at the beach more often, thus leading to more shark attacks, essentially by necessity. Personally, I don't want Shark Attack because I don't like Kevin O'Leary. We disagree politically about many things. I think he's pompous. And the embodiment of having a really, really vile opinion, and then people will just believe you because you couldn't possibly be making up a vile opinion. What reason would he have to lie, except for, like, his own publicity and brand being a jerk? But anyway, that's a subject for another day. If you could just let me in, please. I have my ticket. The Toronto public want to shop. Dude, our damage is so good. I don't know if we're ever gonna land hits with Ludo. And I don't know if Mom's Knife is adding some weirdness here, but it's got a certain je ne sais quoi, of that I can't deny. Okay, so we have 24 damage. It's insanely great. What we lack is obvious. We need bone hearts. And we shouldn't need bone hearts, but, as is sometimes the case, I've maybe played a little fast and loose with our melee friend, and actually put us at risk of death real quickly, but I'm being over-aggressive, and I really should not be. I'm trying to make it the boss rush, but there's, to be honest with you, like, not much reason to. Except, I guess, personal pride. And we really, like, I think we should embrace the knife as the soul. What is Bursting Sack gonna do? Not much, in all likelihood. I wish I could make this Ludo, Ludo knife synergy work a little more readily, but apparently it's not gonna be plausible. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here. I was playing better when I was making fun of the Edmonton Oilers. But I don't want to just talk about sports. I don't care about sports that much. It's just, it's basically, like, when I see people tweet about Critical Role, that's how I feel when I tweet about sports. It's like, it's a thing that I watch. It's not like my life. That's fine. There was the tactical switch there was important. It's like the #1 thing right now on planet Earth, and it ties into the sports discussion, is like Fortnite. You can't shake a stick without seeing Fortnite everywhere. And as Fortnite has gotten more popular, the number of tweets I've seen where the central premise is basically like, oh, I don't like Fortnite, has gone up exponentially. And I'm like, I get it. It's not because I like Fortnite that I'm mildly offended by these tweets. The reason I'm mildly offended by these tweets is because it just reeks of, like, an air of superiority. It's the same whenever the Super Bowl's on. I don't watch football, okay? At all. Whenever the Super Bowl's on, though, there's always, like, 1,000 people that come out of the woodwork. Oh, is the Super Bowl today? I didn't notice. Except for the fact that I saw 14 tweets about it. Can you please respect the sanctity of my timeline? I'm like, why are you being a jerk? Let people like what they like. It's like you see 100 tweets about politics in your feed, one tweet about Thanos being in Fortnite, and all of a sudden it's, oh, I can't escape Fortnite. Why can't everyone be... This is the voice you use when you're the Bone Lord as well. Why can't everyone be an intellectual like me? I just... I gotta... It's a piece of advice, and it's very sanctimonious. You maybe disagree with it. And by the way, I'm not in, like, 11th grade right now, so it's possible that if you go to school, literally all you hear about is Fortnite. In that case, I feel sympathy for you. I can understand being, feeling a little bit, not rattled necessarily, but you're sick of it, okay? But, I think, well, we almost died because I panicked so hard. I don't live by this advice always, but I think I should. You're not just right because I'm wrong. is what I'm gonna say to preface this with. I know I'm wrong about a lot of things. Oh, give me a Hagalaz here. Red hearts? Red hearts? No, no red hearts. We should not even, like, ever be the Bone Lord. We have a knife. Just be cool. You shouldn't define yourself or your public persona around things that you don't like, because it leaves you adrift without an identity except being the guy who is only passionate about crapping on the things that other people like. And everybody knows someone like this. Hey, I might even be the one that's like this for you. But it's, whenever something gets popular, people are tripping over themselves to be like, the first people to be like, hey, has anybody talked about how they don't like Infinity War yet? I'm like, you gotta, that's fine, you know, you can express a negative opinion about something, no question. You ever see me tweet about going to the grocery store? But you gotta throw in the occasional positivity, or people are they're gonna say you're a one-trick pony, you know? I think I talked about it in a recent episode. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's the, you know, the people who complained wolf. You're never gonna know if you really dislike something if you define yourself by disliking everything. It's an ugly look. I think it works a little bit better when you're younger, because you know, people are like, wow, this guy's different. His favorite album of 2004 wasn't Usher's Confessions of a... I think it's just called Confessions Part 2? What's your favorite album of 2004, NL? I'm a scholar. It's Wolf Parade's Apologies for the Queen Mary. Obviously. The Arcade Fire's Funeral is pretty good, but now I'm feeling like a poser because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Apologies for the Queen Mary came out in 2005, Ryan. The rise of Montreal indie rock was really like the biggest thing that happened that year. Probably the biggest thing that happened that year was Holla Back Girl. Okay, give me a second here. AWAS. It's AWAS. All the duplicates want to be poo-poo. I don't know if this is gonna do. Hey, weird. Still trying, like, not to... It's still, like, it's an amazing run. It's a very, very good run. And it's even... I don't even want to say that it's a good run, because that's just ignorant. Of course it's a good run. Look at the items that we got. It's just delicate because of the HP situation, but... Like, it's not that delicate. Okay, I'm gonna do this, dude. Never mind. Yo! Huge plays! How does this work now? What? And that Ludo tier stays in there. We can smack it around. What a strange run. So this is pretty much like exactly the run I was asking for. It's very strong, which is obviously like... I tend to prefer that to the alternative. And yeah, okay. Beyond being very strong, it's also just like... No. It's also just kind of interesting. Like, we've had Monstro's Lung as Bone Lord before. But combine it with Ludovico technique, combine it with, you know, Mom's Knife. We got some very interesting stuff going on here. And this is actually the rare Bone Lord build, at least in my experience, that it seems like it incentivizes using the charge-up attack as opposed to just rah, melee, rah. It's a rah, melee, run. Algiz. Very valuable and useful, potentially. I mean, there's some love to be had with Sack Dagger, probably, but I think I'm just getting out of town here. Hold the Algiz rune. Everything's looking great right now. What a fun character. Not exactly the greatest test of skill in Isaac history, but who cares right now? You know, if you want to test a skill, that's why we got the parallel videos going on. We got a little, you know, Eden streak. Thoughts arrive like butterflies. I'm mad because the local radio station, you know, we live in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is very close to Seattle. It might be closer to Seattle than Vancouver, Washington is to Seattle. I know for a fact that's false, but it just gives you some idea. So I'm like, you gotta be playing banger Pearl Jam tracks all the time. All I want to hear is Pearl Jam. And they oblige me, but they only play Better Man. What is it? It's like Better Man month. And I'm like, okay, you know, I don't think Better Man's a bad song, I guess, but hit me with something off a 10, you know? Give me once. Instead, you know, that's why she'll be back again. I'm like, Eddie, come on, dude. Just give me some even flow. I don't really want to open those because we're not going to get a Guppy transformation. The Guppy transformations have been harder to find than I would like. Now, it's not the game's fault. You know, there's clumped variants. I know this because, as you've seen, I'm a scholar of statistics. and probability. Here's the only other tip of probability you need to know. What are the odds something happens? Doesn't matter what, like, the probability looks like. It's 50%. It either happens or it doesn't. And if you think any differently than that, congratulations, you're a cop. And you can take that either way. Like, congratulations, you're a cop. Or, congratulations, you're a cop. Hey, okay, so I should probably use Sprinkler for the first time in 20 years. And it's doing pretty good work with Monstro's Lung here. I just wish, and that's pretty cool, too. Just wish I could actually land those Ludo knife shots. Please. He's so close to death and despair, and I missed him. Succubus, finish the job, please. Thank you. The guys. The guys. That's the Yas kid. Yas. This kid's definitely on crack. Yas. Who's your favorite Vine kid? And it's, you can't say back at it again at the Krispy Kreme, because that's cheating. He's obviously the best. I gotta admit, I gotta give it to Yodel Kid, dude. It's so good. Lord, I don't know what to do. All I do is sit and cry. Hey, oh Lord, that last gone dead, she said goodbye. Now nobody sugar daddy now. And I saw a video that made me want to cringe deep into my soul. And I know as soon as you say cringe, D-A-E, la cringe. What is this? But, like, for real. It was two ladies reenacting Yodel Kid at Walmart. And I guess, like, on the surface, it's not really any less cringy than what I was doing just there, imitating Yodel Kid in front of, you know, like, tens of thousands of people. But it was way worse because, like, they obviously orchestrated and filmed it specifically to be like, how do you do, fellow teens? And I was like, you should be... you should be not doing this. I appreciate the effort. An effort was made, but please don't. That's... when a kid's yodeling at Walmart, you're like, that's cool. When there's, like, two adult women yodeling at Walmart, you're like, security... you don't... I'm sorry to say it, okay? Kids get a license. They get... there are things that kids can do that you give them a pass for that adults can't do because they should know better. And if you think that that's ridiculous, try crapping your pants in the middle of a Walmart. If you're 8, people will be like, that sucks. Oh, poor kid. If you're 28, people would be like, what on earth are you doing? I don't care if you've got ulcerative colitis. This is a public place. See, now I'm flipping it back, and it's a little unreasonable of them. See, now they're the bad people for judging you. They didn't know that you had a gastrointestinal disease. Do you feel better about it now? Not about the disease, which is hypothetical in this situation. Let's see. No. 'Cause it's TNT. It kinda stinks. It's TNT. No fun hijinks. TNT. It's kind of a load. And oi. That's I'll do the oi if it makes you feel better. All right. Easy win. Fun run. Ooh, careful. No, okay, as soon as we go down to 1 HP, or technically 0 HP, I guess, I'm like, you know what, maybe not an easy win, but it's going to be a fun run regardless. I have no idea what the Jawbone is doing here. It seems like we can send it out and it might retrieve items for us, like a passive version of the Boomerang. But that is, it's presumptuous of me right now. Love to pick up a trinket, and the knife stops moving. Because I need both hands to hold the trinket and be like, what's up with this? This is definitely a case, I'll just level with you. I think we got too many synergies. Or too many items that all want to be the star of their own show, you know? We're like the 1998 New York Rangers. You can't have Pavel Bure, Eric Lindros, Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier all on a team, you know? They all want to be the superstar. You gotta have some role players. And what we've got here is just too many items that are like, I want to be the writer. I want to write the show. And you're like, you can't. Michael, I'm the writer, Christopher Nolan. You can't write the new Batman movie, Michael. I want Alfred to be the Joker. He can't be the Joker, Michael. Heath Ledger was the Joker. He died. How would that... It's a gaping plot hole. Oh, dude. Yeah, let's add another one to the mix then. Oh, Pop Algis. That's right. Oh, he's done. How would Alfred Pennyworth be the Joker, Michael? Doesn't make any sense. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to support the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. That's a good stretch.